Hey, hockey fans, this is Steen Rocks, and I'm here for some free agent hockey talk. So tonight is the draft. I'm so excited. I love NHL draft. I went to my first in 2018. It was awesome. Got to meet and discuss hockey with so many cool fans, and actually get to meet a couple players too. So these guys will be hopefully coming up in the NHL in the next couple of years. So it's going right on to free agency. Let's talk about the Kraken. They drafted 30 players, but a lot of their players are going to be playing in the AHL, 9 to be exact, if my calculations are correct, which leaves 5 positions still available and about 29 million worth of cap space. Wow, did Seattle do it right? Like, good job, Ron Francis, on making that work with all of these contracts. I know a lot of you were shaking your heads about Quenneville and about Bayreuther and Colin from Vancouver, but check out my AHL video about the minors and the players that are going to get sent to the minors from the new Seattle team. I think I was pretty accurate. We'll see. You tell me what you thought. And the 18 spots filled by drafted players, I thought, let me just dive right in and see what players that they could pick up in free agency. Now, after looking at their roster, I was like, oh, okay, so there are some holes. Defense is shored up, no problem. But on the left wing, we've got it good. I'm thinking Yarncroke, Appleton, Tanev, and Turinsky, if he makes it. He's going to compete. Center and right wing are where our positions are still a little shaky. With Gord having to miss the beginning of the season, the center position is basically McCann and Bastian. So there will be some centers. I'm thinking, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Seattle goes for big centermen who can win face-offs, right? Because win the face-off, make the play, score the goal. It starts with the face-off. So they're really needing to pick up some centermen, and they could use another right wing. We've got Eberle, Donskoy, and Blackwell, in my opinion. So one of the key free agents right now is Thomas Tatar. He picks them up, and you've got a 30-year-old who has bounced all over the league. He started in Detroit, then Vegas, and then Montreal, where he just blossomed. He was a major reason that the Canadiens qualified for the playoffs. And although he did see his numbers decline significantly on the playoffs and had to watch most times from the press box, he still made an impact, and I think that they could get him for really cheap. Marcus Johansson is another player that I believe would be an asset to the Seattle team. He can play center, he can play wing, 6 foot, 205 pounds. He has 5 seasons where he has scored 40 points or more, and this is what the Kraken need. They need goal scorers. Even if you threw him on a third line center, which that would be a great position because he's played that before. He's got 684 career games and 378 points, so just above 500. He would be complemented by Brandon Sutter, another center who could play third or fourth line for about $275 million for what he's making right now. I think that Seattle could pay $5 million to each player and still be under the cap, being that they only need 5. This Brandon Sutter is the alternate captain for the Canucks. I know they're still working on a deal for him, but they don't have one yet, which means he's a free agent. He's 6 foot, 390 pounds, originally drafted 11th overall. Now, what I was digging up was, did you know Ron Francis was working as team director of player development for the Hurricanes whenever Brandon Sutter was drafted? So he's probably seen a lot of this player, and I can imagine that he's probably got his eyes on this player. Another one that's just kind of like drew my eyes to him was Ryan Dzingel. Guess where he came from? Yep, you guessed it. He was drafted 7th round in 2011 by the Hurricanes. He was under director of hockey operations, Ron Francis. Dzingel is 29, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Another really good bargain at $3.25 million. probably looking for a new start. Just to note, Francis has also drafted Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen, and picked up Justin Williams in free agency. Therefore, he knows a thing or two about drafting good players. The last player I want to add to this expansion draft team is Yoel Armia, a 29-year-old from, well, he's not from Montreal, played in Montreal. He was drafted 16th overall in 2011. He's a speedy forward with natural scoring ability and good size. He's 6'4" and 213 pounds, which completely fits the model that Seattle Kraken is building right now. He scored at least one goal in every series for the Canadiens in the playoffs, except against Tampa Bay. But you know that the scoring touch is there. That's all I have today for free agency. Did you like my picks? Do you have some that you would add to it? Let me know. Drop them in the comments and enjoy the draft tonight.